What's going on, old YouTube? I know I probably look the same because I always got pens hanging out of my ears, but I feel like I've been building stuff for months now. Anyway, new weekend, trying to get stuff done. Tire guy showed up. We got him some tires, some new wheels, some new balonies.
Now I know what to do with my hands.
Yeah, now he's back here cutting tires. Motor ain't even together, but we're getting some tires cut, you know? Trying to get ahead of the curve. Been working on the body. We're getting there up here. Mom and BJ over there getting ready to get the shirt order done. So we'll let you guys know when that comes in. What they say, like 6 to 8 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. So it'll be a little bit, but we'll let you know. Got the nose all hanging on. We're getting the fender flares on. I got the upper fenders built. I just got to build the side fenders. Passenger sides on. Just kind of getting all the button it up finished, you know. Gotta get the front end done so I can do those wheel wells, and I can hang the door plastics. And then this old slicker got our graphics all done. I like them. We pulled them out of the box and took a little look at them, but you guys are gonna have to wait till we hang them. So they do look good. It's definitely different, similar but different at the same time. I think it looks real good. It'll look real good at night on the track. So, and then Dad's up here still working on the motor. He's got the cover. This is the back cover for the new timing belt setup, and then he knocked out a seal, so we had to get a new seal. That put us a day behind, but now he's making this little press adapter so he could press his lower gear on the crank. So he's working on that. We're all just kind of chaotic mess right now.
So we've had a pretty productive day so far. Got the trailer pulled out of the barn and the rig over here so we could do some work on it. Tire guy did show up today. Got some new tires mounted to some new rims and got some stuff cut and ready to go. So that's good. But what we wanted to show you today is we've been talking about this motor that we're building. Dad's building. Dad got all the pistons in. I think we showed you that last week. Went through all that. Now, what we've been working on is this new timing belt setup. So typically in a small block motor, you got a timing chain or a gear drive. The timing belts are, I won't say they're new, but they're newer. So what happens is they're normally with a timing chain setup, you actually have oil inside of where the timing is happening, right? It kind of lubricates the chain, runs over all the gears. With the belt, you can't have oil in here. So this back cover here, this fancy shiny aluminum thing, actually seals the motor so no oil comes in here. All right, then you put your bottom pulley on, you put your top pulley on. It's a whole process, right? But what we're going to show you is how you degree the cam in. This is something that's a little bit different. Most people don't see this side of motor building. It's technical. You're actually putting your center line of your intake lobe where it's supposed to be in relation to the crank, to the cylinder. So you're doing that, and you're putting it at a certain degree to make the valve opening and closing timing happen exactly when you want it to. So we'll kind of show you that. We got it all roughed in right now. We're going to go ahead and go through, do our final check on it, and make sure it's right. I'm going to give Mom the camera because I can't do it all. All right. So what we're doing right now is we're rolling the intake lifter up to the farthest point that it goes up. I gotta get the right stroke here.
He passed it.
I passed it.
That's the other problem GoPros don't talk about. When you're talking and yakking and thinking about the camera, you're not thinking about what your hands are doing.
Yeah. All right, so my intake lifter is coming up. Gonna get the 0. All right, that's the highest lift point of that intake lobe. Now we're gonna go 20 degrees past that.
20 thou.
20 thou, I'm sorry. Right there.
So we'll read that number right here on your degree wheel. We got our pointer. This was set for your top dead center. That's another step before you got to do this. So now we're 131 degrees if you look at the pointer there. So now that you got that, you indicate that number down at 131. So that's the one side of the lobe. Now you gotta go back and find the other side of the lobe. So he's gonna go back
in a reverse direction,
in the opposite direction, and get to the other side of the intake lobe.
Now you go past your actual number because you want to make sure that your rotation is always the same rotation as the motor. So since we're finding the other side of the lobe, we actually go past it and then start coming back in the rotation of the motor back to that number that we need.
So he's gonna hit his 20 thou mark again.
Yep.
And we'll come down here and look at this degree on the cam wheel again, and that's 78.
so you take them two numbers, the first one, the 131, plus the 78 gives you 209, and then you divide that by 2. And that's your intake center line is 104.5.
Yeah. Now, if that is correct, we were looking for 105, 104 and a half is right where we want to be. And if that is wrong, you can come back in here and loosen these bolts up, and you can shift your cam based upon the degrees on your indicator here. You could shift it, advance it, or retard the cam to change where your intake center line is.
So what you're basically doing is like we said to begin with, you're setting the cam timing in relation to the crank timing, or in relation to the crank position rather. So all that stuff can be kind of controlled independently. So wherever your cylinder is at in the compression or intake stroke, you're setting your timing to make the valves open and close when you want them to. All right, so it's a little bit technical. I'm probably doing a terrible job of explaining it because we're what we would call part-time motor builders. There's guys that do this for a living that, you know, this stuff, they can explain it way better than me, and it's second nature to them. But once a year, hopefully only once a year, we muddle our way through this, and we have to read and watch several videos over and over again because we kind of forget how to go about it. But that's how you go about it. We got everything set now. We can get the oil pan on, get the timing cover on, get the damper pulley on, get the heads on, get the motor buttoned up the rest of the way. Hopefully that's what we'll do tomorrow.
Ugh. You guys seen Saturday right before dinner, we got the cam timed in for the motor. Nobody grabbed the GoPro Sunday. So I'm just gonna go over everything that happened real quick so I can, you know, get this video uploaded and you guys aren't hanging on a cliff. It's been crazy. Mom got the toter clean. I'll go out there, shoot some of that, and we'll get after that. But Saturday night, me and BJ came back here after dinner. You know, it's that time of year. You got to get after it after dinner and put in the late nights. You know, try to get things farther forward. But sometimes that burns you because then we got here late Sunday. So, but at any rate, it's Monday afternoon. I'm getting after it today. So got the wheel wells all done, side fenders built, fender flares are hung, everything on the front end's done. We strapped the car, got my wheel wells all rolled, hung the door plastics. As of the doors and the nose and the fenders and all that is completely done. I'm getting ready to clean this mess. Sometimes you gotta stop. I started cleaning already. We had a pile of boxes up there from parts and stuff like that. I broke all those down and threw them outside. We'll run them off to our local recycling area. But you know, sometimes you gotta stop, you gotta clean up and restart, because literally with all the projects going on, I think every tool in the shop is currently out. I mean, literally everything. So it's just a chaotic mess. It's getting to the point where we're spending more time looking for what we need tool wise than getting after the work. So it's time to stop, clean up, and I'm gonna get this shop cleaned up. I'm gonna let this car down, and then I'm gonna get going on putting the roof on it and getting the sails built. So Dad, Sunday we got after it pretty good on the motor. Got the pan on her and timing covers all finished up, dampeners on it, and then got the heads on and torqued up, and we kind of got to kind of at a hold up spot on it actually. We had to order some bolts and stuff like that, some water pump spacers, because the ones we ran last year weren't going to be long enough with the new timing belt setup. So we had to order some parts, and Up here we all pretty much deal with Motor State for the most part, and they had a computer system error on Monday and nobody could order parts to show up. So yeah, now we're gonna be kind of just trying to beat around it and get what else other projects we got going on, so we get stuff in on Thursday. We should be able to get stuff in. So but yeah, moving along. Hopefully by the weekend this thing's pretty much done, and then I can start, you know, working on setup stuff, get it on scales, hang some lead, start smashing shocks and springs and getting them all ready to go. And BJ and Dad can tear off on the toter and start working on, you know, projects that are on the truck and the trailer, while I work on the setup on this thing. So oh, in other news, we called a motor builder yesterday, today, whatever day, and we were planning on trying to dyno the motor, and we're not going to be able to get it in dyno it till April 6th. So not this coming Thursday, but the following Thursday, and we're planning on racing that Friday. So basically what we're thinking we're going to do is get the motor buttoned up, set it in the car, just roughly set it in there, just a couple bolts to keep everything in place, and then get my fan shroud built, get the gauge wiring ran, get all the wiring for the distributor and the crank trigger ran, and any other little miscellaneous plumbing stuff we got to do. But we're going to set it in there and get all that stuff done, and then just unbolt it so we can just yank it out, dyno it Thursday, come home Thursday evening, stick her back in the hole, hook everything back up, and then hopefully load her in the box first thing Friday or something like that, be able to go racing, hopefully. So I think that's all I got for you guys. I know the video's been a little jumpy, but it's just crazy. Like I said, it's not, nobody around here has any time. I'm building the body, BJ's helping me and building seat stuff and getting other things that are going on. Dad's working on the motor. We're all kind of bouncing around helping each other. Mom's out cleaning the toter and getting, you know, those kinds of things done. So nobody's got 30 seconds to grab the camera and shoot for a little while, but you know, we're getting there. Hopefully things will calm down here in a little bit. They'll calm down just a little bit, because, you know, race season don't usually calm down much. But all right, everybody, I'm gonna get off here, get back to work. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you soon.